All right, this is the pre-market quick review with the team. Reminder that we have theoretical ideas and these are presented as an educational basis. And we are disclosing, obviously, that you should be using risk capital you can afford to lose. Taking a quick peek. Somebody may want to check your mic, please. Taking a quick peek at the RTH from yesterday. I've made some observations in the room already about important thresholds and pivot points. We suggested early that if you're going to take a trade, probably best to think of the convenient trade to come back long side. We've had a pretty good run. We've gone all the way back through to test yesterday's low. And we had suggested use a couple points stop below that and try to get yourselves back up into the 12 to 14 area if possible. That's the convenient trade, and that's done already. So my belief is that sometimes the whole world is confused as to, what is the correct trade to take. Yesterday, very hard on traders who were not disciplined and gave up after a couple tries, and then wake up today to see that this has come all the way back. But we had warned that it would take time to roll over, and we would understand when it started. And first things first, get back to obviously the 22s, and then below that the good fortune. And we said that we have to be aware of the gap below at 12 still, and obviously anything goes last day of the month. So part of today's trading is it, do we get window dressing or do we get profit taking? And we've had a heck of a month, so I'm interpreting this as profit taking more than anything else. So with that said, we need to be conservative. We've lost, for those of us who slept, we've lost a good portion of the range already, depending on when you woke up and when you decided to do anything, if anything. At the time, I had suggested let's use 16 as our aggressive resistance. And so far, that has worked pretty well. So I'm going to continue thinking that way, that until that 16 gets beat, that is our resistance for probing and testing the south side. So the longs are trapped. First trade ideas today are to hit the bounce and come with the trend in motion all the way from back here. And don't overthink it. There's probably not as much left short side as would like, but still that's the correct trade right now because we have some trapped traders. So if you are looking at a chart like this that I posted in the room, we can see there's a 5-minute chart. We can see the rotations and we can see where this big resistance right now is 22s. And then obviously this 16 area that I pointed out. And we've got our angel down here in the 10 area. So make sure that you understand that the edge is really gone for the short side. If the trade works, it's because today is a little softer and we're trying to squeeze a few longs first before any bounces. So be conservative. We could get a mirror day, meaning we could get the same thing that happened yesterday, and then all of a sudden it rolls over and comes back towards the end of the day. So let's be conservative in our thinking and try to eke out our 4 or 5 points as best we can. Here's our angel test, 29.10, and I've got 23 as our demon. So we're exploring the bottom part of yesterday's range right now. And sometimes we abort just before, sometimes just after, but obviously we've got some stolen range already because we're measuring not only the overnight range, but we're also measuring from that high from yesterday. So that makes it even more of a challenge to think big time short. And this is a beautiful representation of where we are. and why I believe that this low over here on the 19th is an important support low. And normally, if you get a third time through trade, it kind of ignores that. So that's has been our theoretical support, that 6.25 we talked about. And then I think we need to be aware of this 2900 and basically 99 area right below it. That's the next visible support area if we go through into the next box. And you have to break down this guy first. Note that we've had rotations overnight, about 4 points, right? So doing the math, I posted that in the room. 8s, 12s, 16s, 20, 24. So understand that rhythm so far, what's been going on. And basis this chart, we can see that we're at the low end of our support zone. Anybody that's taking a short down here, this is called shorting in the hole. Over time, this type of a trade does not usually work out very well. There will be occasions when it does, obviously. But generally speaking, shorting in the hole does not give you a big edge. In fact, over time, you're going to be a loser if you take that trade all the time. So we're trying to teach the proper ideas and the ones that will work most of the time, not every time. So this is a double bottom. Doubles come first before a third time through. Be aware of this low that broke overnight right here in that 15 area. I actually went to bed last night thinking, the 15 area may be key today, the 16 area. It just started to compute in my mind, and we'll talk about that. So I was really surprised when all of a sudden I woke up and we were, underneath that and still coming. I said, okay, so next, obviously, you got to get down here and try to test that 8 to 10 area. Market will be opening in a couple of minutes. Anybody who has had a great short side trade or even a partial short side should make sure you are paid ahead of the open. That is typically our recommendation.